Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, then, after that pre-game show, into the fray as we head into the first game here of the ESEA Open season for WRAHEsports. This new upcoming roster taking on DomStarcow and plenty more after that for this season 40 of ESEA. As we start off on Mirage, as we sort of mentioned in the pre-game show, you may have been around for that just a few minutes ago. We spoke to Rural, and he mentioned Mirage being one of the strongest maps. He heads in straight to that B site and actually does hit that first shot. Falcon helping out as well as they overwhelm on all sides of the map and completely confuse and belittle the little defense there was spread out across the map. DomStarcow in the end going to end up with just the two players who aren't going to be achieving too much unless they hit these next two shots or so. Even then, it's going to be a tough one with time already of the essence. Bunnyhug still comes up here with way too many angles to look at. Has the USB at least in hand, but as Davey is charged down and killed off, it's going to be Bunnyhug to be left with all the scraps. Picking up 2 headshots admittedly, but not a lot of time left. There he is. Great round. Falcon coming up with 3 kills, but really it was the tactical end of it, I think. Raw coming out strong and really approaching all sides of the map all together. You definitely see the impact there in some regard as to how it made DomStarcow question where the attack was coming from after that approach on B, and then obviously wrapping around towards the A site. For the most part, they come up with the buy round here as DomStarcow actually do force up and actually do get the first opening 2 frags. Fired back from Rural, but a tough one now as those Deagles continue to collapse onto the site. There are only Deagles left, but now with 4 on 2 with Falcon and Maddie having to shoot their way out of this one. 2 from CT, 2 coming out of jungle right now with that general area. With Maddie to plant, Falcon to guard. 2 out of this lineup for Azerbaijan. Can't come up with anything there. Having played with each other for a couple seasons already, even if this roster as a whole playing their first season together, Maddie and Falcon competing under Germany to ESEA back in season 36 and season 37. Falcon, I think specifically in season 62, was it? 60. Completely. No, it was 26. There it is. Falcon was the one who was topping the short stats when they were actually sort of competing in terms of the open landscape. He's certainly proven himself here before. Maddie not too far behind statistically either in that season. 26. We're quite far removed from that time-wise. Rural. Tied up 1. There's full Deagle round in play. They have forced up. Oh, what a shot. Rural comes up with it. Actually giving them quite the comfortable opening in some regard. They can keep creeping out. Still have to play towards A as Maddie will get taken down. That is something. Maddie getting a pick on the A site, but then in the end, not going to deliver much promise. Could have been around if that ends up being Rural against 3. Not an ideal way to handle it with 30 seconds. Don't know if there is really any idea way to handle this, but when Bunnyhug comes up, finishing off the job succinctly. Worth mentioning, DomStarcow, not their first season, competed last time out, also in Open, making it to playoffs, but losing out against a high seed pretty quickly. They did not get the intermediate spot, which feels almost a given when you're in Open, but with that poor seed they had, not quite the case. Bunnyhug What's up with 4? Nice one there. He was the one who topped those statistical box scores as well last season. It's worth mentioning, Bunny Hug. 0.89 price per round in that one. Plenty in terms of the round win shares as well. The only difference to this lineup is Madness coming in instead of last season's Neve. See if he can live up to it, carry them to a better record. He does miss that shot, but not the second time around. On that AWP has the help as well. Heavy. Should be winning a lot of duels with that one. That type of range. Good shot again. And WRAH sort of giving up some of these openings at the moment. You can see giving up a lot of the map real estate as well. Even as Adrenaline finds the pick over towards B, Bunny Hog is coming up from behind real soon, real quick. That bomb still placed in a dangerous position. Rural, so unaware. With about a minute remaining. More picks needed now on the B site. Not that's what's going to happen. Instead, the Ops close it out, making it 4-1. Timeout called. Early one. I think when I was talking to Falcon early in the week, maybe the week before that, on the YouTube channel, by the way, which you could definitely check out on the WRAH YouTube channel. Should be able to find it pretty easily. We were talking about already sort of ahead of talking, I guess, in some respects to Rural, who has been coaching in some prior seasons. The fact that he's able to maybe have that perspective of taking a step back and being able to call a timeout as if he were a coach rather than getting sort of too invested in the moment. Like just calling that early timeout there says something about that. Not always what you'd see, but just as regrouping. In the first game of the season seems like a reasonable move as they come up with plenty pistols, plenty flashes. Rural first in line goes down. The Molotovs, a burden, and the bullets they fly through. Guernsey picks up a 4K in that one. As WRAH do go back to the buy. Parkin gets his op. Not a bad buy, you know. A real chance then to get into this one. Radis and Davey both with ops in their hands, but flashed away now, or all the CT's close to middle, but Havoc still comes up with that frag, eventually traded out. Gersy's still up there in apartments as well. He goes down. Rotation's all that's left. Smoked away. The two ops, they stand behind. Completely blind to it as WRAH will get that bomb down. It's going to be a tough retake now as one of the ops already gone. Beautifully executed round that time. All coming in from short and actually getting those picks. It showed some promise before. I stay pretty close to it. Just looking for an exit frag here. Have the money, the CTs, to maybe lose one or two. Maybe in the end should probably prefer to just save this AWP. We'll save that AWP. Getting a kill on the way out. Still, it's WRAH. Picking up a second round. Having to fight against at least one, probably even more than two gun rounds. Yeah, I'd say about two. Maybe a half by after that. That's if they win as well. This would be the worst possible moment to lose this one if you're WRAHEsports. And set up for plenty of A smokes. An early one, and possibly just throwing those over. Throw a couple out later. You can see it's already smoked off. Maybe a bit of a double fake almost. With DomStarcow already on the inclination to move back somewhat. Trying to get it lined up. A lot of CT still in the area. Double smokes in. 1:10 on the clock. No real CTs have been pulled off. But that ult shot misses. Bunny Hug only gets a trade. Madness will peek in. He goes down as well. It's a 4-on-3. Maybe trying to make it a little bit more manageable. But with 50 seconds, he misses another AWP shot. And the CT somewhat locked out. Can they get a freebie? Davey looking for one, gets it down to the 3-on-3 at the very end. Before that bomb goes down, traded though. Yup and up though. Oh, Falcon! Ending up the sole man. Already the 2 kills on board. Havoc has shown off quite a bit so far. Want to try and stop him. Smokes that bomb. Comes closer. Crouches. Falcon's got him! On the AWP. Steps up when the moment really was needed. I mentioned it coming into that round, and they lost it. It would have been real bad for this half as a general outset. Now they will have to fight against another bye, but certainly looking a lot better. Not least in terms of the scoreline, which now reads 3-5, still in the Polish side's favour, but all the same. Someone else showing off something. WRAH's been playing really well for someone who is supposedly not. They're supposed to be great at the game, just as a mechanical player. I was actually impressed, really, with some of the headshots he's put up. Falcon definitely showing off his skill now as well. From that clutch. Rather than 3 players quite far behind. I think more so looking for that top mid control rather than B. And also putting up Adrenaline closer to B. In his opening game, his ESEA League career, at the very least. Jersey right at the other side of that plant. With WRAH pushing out now towards middle. The moment for Adrenaline to move forward. He's got so many players tagged up. Watch out! There it is. Has at least pulled a couple. But I think Jersey has a little bit too much information now towards apartments. They move over. Maddie still gets an opening. Madness missing 2 shots in a row. And he doesn't even get a third chance that time. As he's mollied out the way. They get the plant down here, WRAH, as they push into CT as well. Doxy getting mollied away. Still some level of control shown with 2 in there. 2 AWPs in fact, and then the other 2 from the CTs coming up from connector. But the AWP peaks again. Davey has the information. Madness comes in, he goes down. It's a trade as Davey stays alive now. Doxy finds his head though. Has made it that man advantage. Playing hide and seek at the moment. Bomb still ticking. They're sitting on it. Falcon gets one. Burl to spray. Gets him down. And WRAH's got another one. It's 3 in a row here. And DomStarcow can now only put up a final buy if they even choose to. Or could have been more towards the half buy, I guess. Most of the players did have money. That is the exception. It's that top mid control again. Being quite frightful of the high line defensively. We've obviously seen in some of these rounds, especially when DomStarcow were winning more, they were a bit more aggressive. Flanking more prevalent. They handle that there, WRAH. They don't handle it on B. Polish side still come up with a man advantage, and then they don't really look for Madness. Oh, but that's a crucial one. A crucial mistake. So at least get a trade out of that. And now the information on Tavy, which they don't use at all. In any regard. He comes up with the 3 kills instead. And WRAH immediately broken. On the economic end, I guess on the positive end of that, they did pull a couple rounds back before the streak was broken, so something to latch onto. And the second part of this first half. But a tough time there towards B. Adrenaline trying to find his form, but probably won't be able to do it with a Glock. Jersey has his number right now. And I don't say that just predicated on a M4 dual win against the Glock. And he gets one rotation quick though. And so all pipes quite clean. Maybe the only reason StarCrow are towards this site, because they did already recover that bomb. You can see on the minimap they're all swarming around it except for Davey. Oh, but he goes down! A wonderful delight there from Doxy. It surely won't end up in too much more. Long range this time, and not quite on the first try. Has more to offer. Still 100 health on him. We know he can hit these Deagle headshots now. The CT certainly do. Oh, and Jersey caught with the hand in the cookie jar. As Doxy's come up with an M4, he's only got 20 seconds now. Bomb's so far away, he might just save the Zop. That wouldn't be a bad choice at all. I think he had a decent idea of where those CTs were. Obviously, would have been a bit of a suicide mission to keep going for that. And it does make it quite costly. CT still are going to be able to buy up, but I'm not sure if they're able to invest in that next round if WRAH can just win this one. Falcon has delivered that AWP and the rest get to AKs on that T side. Rick mid smoke. StarCrow stack. I was going to say the site initially, not quite the case. Mid. Good tag. Or at least initially. They've got more rural aggressive on it. Maybe too much so. Already giving up the man advantage. But then Adrenaline comes up. And he wants more. He gets a bit of an opening as well. The entire site. You can see it's pumping now. That Danish blood flowing through. Does get a bit of CT. Plenty of teams now waiting in the post plant. Gonna get wait here for a flash. It doesn't come. They still walk into it as Adrenaline has already come up with a third frag, and now it's ended the round. As Falcon already took down another one. Davy's just running away. We'll get to safety as Adrenaline wakes up. WRAH have 5. But if he does go down, not conscious of that health. That's what Adrenaline will do to you. XCO, I don't really think more of survival, but just considering the round so much. He gets a new AK. Always good in the world. With the StarCrow echoing to allow WRAH to get that bit closer. See if they can propel Davey into some great position, which is the primary goal here. It's obviously saving over that AWP. Staying on the B site, there's 2 players have already got taken out. You can see Adrenaline starting to get going here, even if he does miss that flashbang. Spots out the op, that's the primary target for WRAH. You know they probably will be winning this round. He has the general idea. Doxing secures the position, but has also given them another AK. Good stuff from Davey. They have missed some op shots though, StarCrow. I feel like they could have even had more rounds if they didn't make some of the mistakes in terms of just the losing some of the duels. We've seen it a couple times. Even as StarCrow get out with one more weapon than what they came in with. WRAH dropped 2. Decent round. Great to see Adrenaline keeping up that awakening. Getting himself to 5 kills, just for the confidence boost here. But as again, his debut season, his debut game. Still towards that base side of the map. More so middle right now. Oh, aggressive too. Short exchange is good for Adrenaline. Only one left on the base side now. Gursey trying to keep it under check. He's already got the trade. Needs a little bit more though. As he tags up another, kills off a different player. And has made it favourable for the Polish side. Only marginally. Smaddy will get for that bomb plant. Waiting up the nades and such. Just hoping for a reckless push with all 3 CTs waiting in market. Oh, but Davey wins that fight. Now they can push out. 1 on 3. Maddie comes up just to 1. Fortunately for him, no further result there as StarCrow yet again break the streak that was building. Make it to 8 rounds. Just 1 left in the half. 7 rounds would be quite decent, you'd say. For T-side, there's Doxy drops 2 quick smokes. The Molotov extinguished. His madness while flashed. Gets a bit of help there from Bunny Hog, but they still come up with the 2 opening kills. And not really forced away from the site either. The bomb dropped in the open. This is just not turning out a good last round, but then Doxy's at least find one. Not sure if that's enough. Truly. All 4 remaining CTs waiting around that bomb. Falcon. Control. Not what they were looking for. Davey will close that one out. 9-6 the first half reads. As WRAH still remain with a chance here. If they switch onto that CT side, then on Mirage, we'll see you in a little bit. Second half. See you then. Welcome back. Half number 2 on the way here between WRAHEsports and DomStarcow, the opening game here at the new ESEA Open season for WRAH. This young burgeoning roster. We've got plenty of action left for you after a first half which did see quite a bit of that. WRAH starting off rough, but got back in the end to at least set up a manageable second half scoreline. And they start off the second half quite poorly. End up somewhat manageable. Oh, a lot more now. Doxy, 2 kills already. Another 1 on 4, but still plenty more to do here. With that Molotov in hand, I guess he's looking for the kit and connector or so. Was there one? No, it's on the site. Saw that line up in Palace strongly assumes that he stayed up there, now knows he's down ramp. CT, the other player. It's Doxy. Tapped that bomb, forcing out Davey. Oh, then gets knifed in the end. By the man. Stuck around in CT. 6-10. Again, slightly less manageable, but I think if WRAH can just buy up to that extra round should not be a problem. Because you're still not in that territory where it's a must-win. you get to that point, maybe, when you're down 6-12 or so. Or 6-13. Right, yeah. And here come the StarCrows. Against 3 pistols. Early trade. Doxy, though! That USP is deadly. He does go down in the end, but it's made it costly here for the T side. Maddie comes in, missing on his first Eagle attempt. Missing a whole lot of attempts, unfortunately. Could have made this one really quite close, but now... Oh! Has made it close! 20 health on him! Can't quite stay alive for long enough. Rob will stay on 6. But Doxy, he's up to 16 kills. He's put in a quiet but deadly shift right now. And so many of those kills just from that, like, those Glocks, those USPs. A lot of pistol kills. Not even only deagles necessarily. Hard guard. A couple of P250 frags, I believe. Will be another eco here. If we get the math properly, you're never going to be able to buy up in this round, really. Doxy actually has come up with another kill. Just does it in every round. At least one. It feels like. He went down. Actually, so did Falcon. The rest of the crew just be executed. Except for the ones left to wonder. Just really pull something out here. Not bad. 6-12 it is. So now you are in that territory that I was speaking about earlier, where you're ending up in a kind of a must-win round, I'd argue. If WRAH don't win this one, it's going to be really tough to get back in the game. Just in general. All up on Falcon at the very least. He stays in mid. Love to see this game just progress a little bit further at the very least by winning this type of round, just so that we can see more of the CT side. A map that was promised to be one of WRAH's best. Falcon rotating over. Now for window, actually. They take more aggressive control. That's madness and dangerous still on both ends. Where is he with the opening? Maddie wanting to tie it up, but at least does that. DomStarcow have more of the information right now, you'd argue. Oh, very exposed. There it is. Good trade still. Keep themselves alive, but just as I said that, one of the more pivotal ones to stay alive goes down, and now we have a 2-on-3, which feels very difficult to pull off. Doxy will have to do the heavy lifting with WRAH. Not quite knowing where Grurzy currently stands. There he is. Taking him down. No trade opportunity for Doxy. He wants to go for it. Missing on the shots through the wood. That's it. 16, or yeah, not getting ahead of myself too much. 13-6, rather. Another timeout called. I guess they have another chance here in terms of a somewhat okay buy. But I think their best opportunity in terms of the buy is already gone. Falcon pulling out that up at the very least. Otherwise, dim. D standing for Deagle. I for interchangeable, and M for meh. Here they come then, towards that B site. Falcon all alone with lacking utility. Still comes up with one. Flickenberg missing on the second shot and knows the only chances he gets as the Deagle squad come to die off. Found to be 14-6 after Havoc lined him up in market. Line another one up through market. Adrenaline. All that's left. And really, not too much hope, you'd sense, in the WRAH ranks right now. Because it's not like they have some great buy on the way on the horizon. Match point much more likely than any rounds being picked up. They will have a pop. The first game of the season getting out of hand is not the moment to give up, you'd say. With some decent cash floating around, I guess. With that lost bonus, Doxy will still be able to buy up an M4 if he goes for that body armor. Yeah. No, dropped over. Farmhouse it is for him. Double op setup coming in. Interesting. Let's see. There was a time to mix it up and try for something new. This would be the time. There's Adrenaline on that AWP. Hits it on the first try. Ideal start. The other op then. Spotting a glimpse of Gersey and then following up succinctly. Another trade gone out in middle. Match point not looking so likely right now for this round at the very least. With Havoc and Dobby trying to pull it back all the way. In this 2-on-4, they've got the A site as their target flashing away. Nice pull off a jungle temporarily. Oh, he's tapped on, but gets the help of Maddie. Even as Dory's won that op duel, still feels a little bit out of reach to win this whole thing. Marco could really pop up any moment. Not so much now. Mollied away and does get the bomb plant, which he decides not to quite take full on. He's getting a worse chance now as Falcons come up from CT, peeks him. Oh, but has seen him. Not going to be enough though, as Doxy. It's already there from behind. And so 7-14. 7 more rounds to tie it up. And something getting going on the CT side here with the double up setup in the last round now. Back to the 1-up. They come towards B, going for the simple route. But simple, not going to end up at all in their favour. Oh my, Dowie running away. With WRAH to 8. I think that was kind of expected, right? WRAH, they were really ready for that one because it just felt like the time where the Doms were looking for a simple play where they were just going to prove to everyone that they were way superior, but not quite how it's turned out. And, but you can see the reasoning from the T side. Back to the double off. Cash flowing. Because if they lose a round, it's not like they'll win anyway. You don't have to think about that economy all too much. With Adrenaline back on the op and back towards the A site with it. DomStarcow will walk straight into those sites. Op and op, and it will be Dowie to come up with it. Falcon boosted up, no one in Palace to look for. taking loads of CT. We get found out initially. Doxy, oh, he repositions as well. Finding the second kill and opening up a man advantage into the post plant. Havoc staying on the site, mollied away, forced into default. But then they get 3 kills, 4 kills, like from nowhere. That was lightning on a sunny day. Things were looking up there for WRAH towards the post plant, but in the end, not quite how they wanted it. We've got match point for the Polish side. Oh, but plenty of nades coming at Bunny Hug. He still finds a kill somehow. Maddie. An advantage not going to be earned. In fact, it goes the other way. An unfortunate way to do that. As Rob dropped the ball. Falcon tide rule. They have the information. And Guernsey only a matter of time before he secures this frag, probably. Rule gets caught out. There's Doxy. Volleyed away. They've heard him. They know it. Most would know it. Any moment locked in is a Doxy frag. And then a whiff. And then a hit. Locked in 16-8. As the first game of the season will end up a loss there for WRAH. A rough one in some regards. We did, at least, as I was hoping for, get to see a little bit of that CT side play out, but not too much. In the end, pretty deserved victory there for the Polish side. They could have more in the first half even. 6-9 almost flattering. But in the end, that is a contender for a playoff spot. We'll see how they handle WRAH. Their next opponent, Waivers, instead, next time out. That is going to be tomorrow, I believe, as well, with a team that is playing in their first season. Just like WRAH themselves. We'll be back then, or maybe a little bit later on. You'll have to check out the Twitter, I suppose, for when, if a stream is live for that. You can follow at WRAHEsports on Twitter. You can follow us here on Twitch as well. And make sure to follow the YouTube also. All of the players' Twitters should be able to find them pretty easily, as we've been shouting them out all week, or through the team Twitter as well. You can do. Alright, that's been it for this time out. We'll have to see you back soon for hopefully more of a victorious look as we leave you now. After an 8-16 defeat, Nicole Hans will embrace. Alright, see you in a moment.